The creation of this multi-plate collagraph titled The Guardian is shown in this video from plate to print and all the steps in between. To start, a piece of blank mat board coated with polymer medium, sealing it from liquid solvents and ink, is prepared. Once the image has been traced through to the mat board, it is masked and trimmed for the next step. Here I'm applying modeling paste to the plate. It will provide texture and depth to the print. I then sand the plate smooth, but I still leave enough texture to print without the plate collecting too much ink. I repeat the procedure of masking specific areas on the plate, applying modeling paste, and then sanding it down. This creates textures that differentiate from each other when the plate is inked up. I then begin the next step of creating the plate. Again, the image is traced through, but this time onto bristboard. Once the drawing is traced, it is outlined with permanent marker. Using a permanent water-resistant marker is important. This avoids the lines running or smudging when applying other mediums to the plate. I then trim out this portion of the plate, which, once manipulated, will be glued to the main original plate. At this point, I'm applying carborundum using thinned carpenter's glue. The carborundum, when inked up, will print a rich, almost solid color. Carborundum is the grit found on sandpaper, but here I'm using it in the loose form. I then apply thin polymer medium to create highlights. The polymer medium is tinted, so I'm able to see how many layers have been applied. The more layers, the lighter the highlight will appear when printed. Once the work on the main plate was completed, I glued the lion's head to the plate. The main plate is then inked up to be run through the press and the image transferred to the second plate. The plate is wiped with tarlatan, a starched cheesecloth which allows the surface ink to be removed but still leave ink in the grooves and crevices of the plate. Starting with the most saturated piece of tarlatan, working down to the least saturated, it removes more and more of the ink as you go. A final wipe with phone book pages removes any remaining surface ink left behind by the tarlatan. Once all the wiping is complete, it is really important to clean the edges of the plate as well. 100% acid-free rag paper that has been soaked in water and then blotted to remove any excess is carefully placed over the plate. The paper has been soaked in water to make it pliable enough so it can run through the press without ripping. The paper is pulled back, leaving one edge still tucked under the roller. This stops the paper from moving during the process. A blank plate is then positioned on the press in exactly the same place as the previous plate. This ensures tight registration at print time. As you can see, the ink has been transferred to the clean second plate, ready for work to begin. The plate is masked and prepped similar to the original one, but this time I'm using thin modeling paste with carborundum added to it. I've also tinted it green so I can tell how many layers and how thick it is when applied. The more carborundum I add, the darker it will print. As you can see here, I'm using Varsol to remove the residue ink from the plate. It ensures it wipes clean and leaves no ink on the surface of the plate when printed. It also allows the modeling paste to stick to it. Once again, I mask off sections of the plate as I go. This will differentiate each section from another when printed. Once dry, the plate is ready to ink up and print. Starting with the light brown plate printed first, it is inked up, wiped, and ready for the press. And the black plate. Both plates ready to be run through the press. Starting with the lightest color to be printed first, the background plate is positioned carefully on the press. Again, the paper is peeled back from the plate, leaving one edge tucked under the roller. The light brown plate is removed and the main plate positioned in exactly the same place. And the finished print.